Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you through how to use all of the brushes that come in our 15-piece set. What we've done is we've broken up into the essential eye set and the essential base set, which creates the 15-piece set. So whether you're looking for just eye brushes, base brushes, or you're wanting a full face, this tutorial should hopefully help you be able to find the set that's for you. So if everyone can remember to like, comment and subscribe on our video, and we'll see you over on our Instagram page on Thursday at 8 o'clock for our live video with all our Peachy fam. So let's get started to show you how to use all the products in our 15-piece brush set. So I'm excited to just be able to just enjoy doing a tutorial for everyone today, just using all the essentials, because I think when people are buying the brushes online, it can be a little bit difficult to know what to do with all the brushes. So hopefully this is going to be able to help you all be able to work out exactly what to do with all of these little babies. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our PC30 brush. I'll just show you a close up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of our Peaches and Cream eyeshadow primer, and we're just going to place it all over the lid. So for anyone who's never used the primer before, it's just a really lightweight base to put all over the eyes, just so that you can apply the pigments and they're going to stick a little bit better. So that's the eyeshadow primer. So with the PC30 brush, we're going to take the product off the back of the hand, and we're just going to lightly apply this product all the way over the lids. You want to get right in on the tear duct and right up to the eyebrow. And with the leftovers on the brush, you can run this underneath the eye as well, just so that you've got that tacky feel right the way around the eyes. So that was PC30. So for today's colours for the pigments, I'm going to be choosing some of the shades out of our 50 Shades of Pigment collection. And the first one I'm going to be using is our Pale Pigment. So you'll have seen on any other tutorials that I've done before, it's one of my favourite colours. I'll just do a little swatch to just show you what it looks like, but we're basically going to use it with PC11 brush. So this is what PC11 looks like up close. It's a little bit smaller than the PC30 brush, and it's got a slightly square tip on the head. Now this brush is amazing to apply the pigment colours to your socket, your eyelids, brow bone, tear duct. You can do loads of different things with it. So we're going to be using it with Pale Pigment today, which is my favourite highlighting shade to use out of the range. So what we're going to do when we're actually using PC11 is we're going to apply the product to the tip of the brush, only on one side, and we're just going to really lightly dust the product backwards and forwards, so you can see you just get a tiny little bit of a highlight on the brow bone. So this is PC07, which is our tiny pencil brush. Today we're going to be using this to pop a tiny little bit of the Pale Pigment onto the inside of the tear duct. But we normally do use this brush also for adding any darker colours to the outer part of your smoky eye. So we're just going to really press this just really lightly on the inside of the tear duct. And what that's going to do is it's just going to make your eye pop just a little tiny little bit. So you can see it just brightens the inside of the eyes. Then in this set, you're going to get two different blending brush sizes. You're going to get PC22 and you're going to get PC10. So you can see the two different sizes up close. And these are really good because you can use them to pack colour on and you can use them to blend as well. So to start with, we're going to take our Factor 50 pigment, which is our bright orange. I'll just show you what it looks like because it's absolutely gorgeous. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a little bit of this up with the PC10 brush. So this is our biggest of the two blending brushes. And we're going to actually pat it into the hand before I apply it right across the socket. So rather than using a blending motion to begin with, I'm actually going to pat the product on. So we're going to just take the product and start getting that nice orange shade right the way across the socket, but we're still using a pattern technique. And then once the product's applied, then what you can do is start moving the colour around and lifting it higher till it meets the pale pigment on the brow bone. And we're just going to work this product in. This is like almost like the base, and then we will build it up a little bit more with a second layer towards the centre of the lid in a second. So you're blending it across your socket, and then once there's nothing left on the brush, if you feel like there's still a little bit of product left on the brush, just give it a wipe on the back of your hand, and then what you're going to do is blend that colour right the way across. And the aim of what we want to do with this Factor 50 pigment is we want to blend it out into the pale, so it almost creates a third colour in between, so it's a mixture of the paley shade and the bright orange. Then what we're going to do, continuing to use the PC10 brush, we're going to pick up our second lot of the Factor 50 pigment, and this time we're going to actually just press the colour onto the lid, so it's almost like you're drawing it down, and that will just create the whole lid to turn into that nice orange shade for you. Then continuing to use the same colour, which is Factor 50, we're going to take PC14 brush, and this is a perfect little brush to just smudge the colour underneath your eyes. So where we put the primer before underneath the eyes, we just want to let this pigment catch on to that, just so that you've got a little bit of that orange colour going underneath the eye. You can see I'm just using a dabbing motion to take the colour right the way across. And then what we're going to do with our PC22 brush, which is the smaller of the two, we're going to take a tiny little bit of the Factor 50 pigment, and we're going to just run this brush right the way underneath the eye, and what that's going to do is just blend this colour out. So next I'm going to take PC12 brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to line the upper lash line with a black eyeshadow. So what this is going to do is going to create the depth for the makeup. So we don't want any of the dark shadow actually interfering with the orange. We want it to more look like we're creating a dark lash line. So you can see the way I'm almost jam packing the black shadow as flat as possible onto the lash line. And to get the best effect with this, I would say keep going backwards and forwards 3 or 4 times, just so that you get it really intense. So you can use the PC12 brush to do exactly the same on the underneath of the eyes as well. And you can use it as like a brush to kind of wing and map out where your wing's going to come out, for anyone who struggles doing that as well on the outer corner. This is just a great brush to be able to work in like really flat surface areas. So I'm just continuing to put a little bit of mascara on, which is just going to act as a base for when I'm going to put today's eyelashes on. And I'm going to just pop a little bit on the bottom lashes as well. So when I'm doing this, I'm just going to do it in little sections, working right the way along. So the last brush out of the Essential Eye set is the double-ended eyebrow brush. So you can see it's got your brush for definition to draw your eyebrow shape in, and then on the other end it's got like your spoolie where you can just comb through the brows. So for today I'm going to keep mine really, really natural. I'm just going to brush all the hairs up with the spool on the end, and then I'm going to pop just a tiny little bit of a brown eyeshadow just through the ends to lift the arch of the brow. So for today's eyelashes, I've decided to use number 28. These are a short to medium length eyelash with a really nice curl on them. They're one of the sets of lashes that come in our foam ink range, so you can see all of the hairs. They look really natural to the tip, and they do look a little bit wispy as well. So they're going to look really nice, pretty and doll-like on the eyes. So just to finish off me look that I've done, I'm just going to use a little bit of my favourite eyeliner, which is the NYX vinyl liner. So we're just going to paint this in a thin line right the way across the top of the lash. And I'm not going to create a flick today. I'm going to just keep it nice and fresh. So you want it just really, really thin and light. And it's just to add into that little bit of the black eyeshadow that we've used. So as always, I'm going to use the green duo glue to apply my eyelashes. This is my favourite glue to use. I'm just going to leave the glue onto the eyelash and give the lash a little bit of a bend before we apply it. So with these eyelashes, you're really wanting to create almost like a semi-permanent lash effect. So they're going to look nice and full, nice and thick, but not too long on the eye. So just to show you close up what the eyelash looks like, because I know a lot of people like seeing the lash close. That's the effect that it has. So we're going to put our duo glue on and apply the eyelash. So the whole point in this eyelash is it's going to turn the look into quite a dramatic look really, considering we've only used 2 pigments on the eyes to begin with. And we're just going to wait for the glue to set. So that's what the eyelashes look like close up. And you can trim them down a little bit further on the outsides if you were to feel like they were too big as well. So I'm just going to wait for this to fully dry and check that the eyelashes are going to be staying in place. I always find just literally pressing on the tip of the eyelash, pushing it down towards the root, that will always help. So I'm just going to give them a couple of minutes to dry while I get the next part of our brush set out. So these are the 7 brushes that you receive in the 7-piece essential face brush set, and I'm going to show you how to do the base using each and every single one of these now. So the first brush that we're going to use in our essential face brush set is PC19. So this is our most popular foundation brush. It's our bestseller, and it's just an amazing brush to be able to get all your base products on. So what I'm going to do to begin is I'm going to take our Goddess Illuminator, and this is going to act as a primer. So we're going to take the Goddess Illuminator with the PC19 brush, and we're going to apply this all over the face. So to do that, what I would normally do is just pop a little bit of it on the back of my hand, and then picking the PC19 brush up, pick the whole lot up, and then just divide the product and start blending it around the face. So the Goddess Illuminator is going to give your skin a nice moisturise. It'll hydrate the skin and it'll leave it with a soft shimmer and just a nice glow. And you can just take that down the neck as well. So then, using the same brush, we're going to start working with our foundation. So my foundation choice today, I'm going to be mixing two. We're going to use the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in shade Santa Fe, which looks like this. And then I'm also going to be adding a tiny few spots of the Bobbi Brown Skin Base Foundation in shade 6.5. So it looks like that. And normally what I do is I always work with Santa Fe, as I really like the colour, and then depending on how brown I want to be, I'll then add however many drops of the Bobbi Brown foundation that I want. So we're going to mix them both together on the hands, and we're going to just put the foundation all over the face evenly before we start blending it. So it's kind of like you're dispersing the product and then you can start blending it around. So we're going to leave underneath the eyes and just concentrate on the base. So we're just working on building the coverage. So the thing I love about the PC19 brush is it's like a beauty blender. So you can use it to glide across the skin, but you can also almost puff the product and buff it into the skin where you need the coverage. So next what we're going to do is take the YSL Touche Eclat in shade 1. So this is the original touche, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start highlighting underneath the eyes. And then you can almost do your reverse contour just down the side of your cheeks, over the top of your lips, and you can also add some to your forehead if you wanted to just lighten up there as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use PC18 brush, and I'm going to just pat that underneath the eye. You can see the way you can glide this brush quite easily underneath. And then I'm going to use the same brush to just pat a little bit lighter to the centre, so it's just going to start highlighting the skin. So for today's cream contour, we're going to be using our smaller brush, and the reason why we're going to use this is because we want to define the line underneath the cheekbones, the jawline, and over the top of the forehead, just that little bit more. You can see I'm just starting to map out which line I want to create my contour. And then what we're going to do is use the PC08 brush, which is our bigger brush, like a little slight curve on it, and we're going to blend the product out with this brush. So you can build this up as much as you want with our cream contour. You can have it nice and soft and blended out, but today we want quite a harsh contour. And then with the excess on the brush, I always just dust it over the top of the forehead and then over the top of the skin, just so that everything blends out nice. So next we're going to use our PC04 brush. This is the perfect brush for sculpting any bronzer over the top of the cheekbones or building any bronzer all over the face. So we're going to take it into the Peaches Compact, into the medium to deep bronzer, and all we're going to do is we're going to really lightly almost pat the product over the top of where we've done the cream contour, anywhere that we don't want it to look shiny. And then what we're going to do is take the PC03 brush, which looks a little bit like this. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to take our Universal Setting Powder, which is this one. And I'm going to just take this product and we're going to dust this anywhere that we don't want the skin to look shiny. So anywhere on the forehead, down the T-zone, under the eyes, or around the mouth. So anywhere that you feel like you go oily, you're just going to pat this product in. So today I'm going to be showing you how to use our new cream blusher on our PC15 brush. So you're going to take a little bit out of the pot, and all you're going to do is smile at yourself in the mirror and place a tiny little bit of this just over the top of the middle of the cheek. So this is great for anyone who likes their cheeks looking nice and fresh and luminous. So the next brush we're going to be showing you today is our highlighting brush, which is PC17. This is our best selling highlighter brush. So what you do with this one is you take a little bit of your pigment. Normally I'd use pale, but you can use any colours like Moonlight, Starlight, looks really nice on the cheeks, Selfie, and all you're going to do is just pop that colour just over the tops. Now I've gone for more of a luminous look with the cheeks today, so I'm not wanting to build this product up a lot, but what also you can do with the PC17 brush is you can use it to just highlight the cupid's bow, and we're doing that also with the pale pigment. So it's just highlighting or emphasising any parts of the look that you feel like you want to. So today the choice of lip liner is going to be shade Feline. So this is the peachiest colour out of all of the lip liner shades that we do. And what we're going to do is slightly draw the lip liner shade above the lips. We want to make them look nice and full. So we're just going to work on applying this lip liner. And then for today's lips, what we're actually going to do is take a little bit of the cream blush, still with the same PC15 brush, and we're just going to pat this over the top of the lips. So we're going to more buff a peachy colour into the skin rather than using a gloss. Thanks very much for watching today's tutorial. If you feel like you need to get your essential eye set or your base set or the full 15, I'll make sure that I link all of the products below so that it's really easy for you to shop for what you need.